The reason I wanted to dive into this whole transgender thing was sometimes I just get hit with all these videos and I look at them and they kind of drive me mad, because some of the stuff like that people say about that transgender people should be allowed to use these bathrooms and shower rooms and stuff, and I disagree totally. I think it's ridiculous. I don't think they should be allowed at all. Now, if the company who's running their business wants to create a transgender bathroom, good, then they should be using that. But otherwise, if you are biologically a male and you're dressed up like a woman, use the men's bathroom. You know, men aren't going to judge you in there. Maybe some of them will, but tough shit. That's something you're just going to have to deal with in life. And I think, and personally, I think it's this, and the same kind of goes. I think if a girl just suddenly decided, like, she just cut her hair short or whatever, but she's still got all her breasts and her vagina and everything, and then she decides she's going to walk into a men's bathroom. For some reason, I think a lot of men think, oh, I wouldn't care, but I think there's a part of you that does care. I would care. I'd be like, oh, what the fuck? What's going on? Like, it's like go into your assigned bathroom. Like, there's a part, like, I still would feel uncomfortable. Now, you probably are all like, oh, you're transphobic. Maybe I am, but I don't really care. Like, you can call me transphobic all you like. At the end of the day, it's not going to hurt my feelings. Like, my life still goes on. Not much is going to change, and it's the same for everyone else. I think the transphobic community the trans community uses transphobic as some kind of slander, like we're going to get upset about it. But if you believe that, like, in what you believe as far as transgender people having to use the bathrooms that they were assigned at when they end from their biology of birth, then I think that's then I don't think that's transphobic. I think you're just saying, yeah, use what you've been told to use. I also wanted to kind of paint the picture of it, because it's easy to say these things, but, like, unless you kind of, like, given a scenario where something happens, then you're never going to kind of look at it and think about what like a what if case. So I'll give a what if case for what I think. Let's just use transgender man, right? And let's say we use a man and his daughter. They're going to the swimming pool, right? Whatever. It's father's daughter day. Daughter's 13. Father goes in. They go in. They buy their passes for the swimming pool, and the daughter's like, "Yeah, Daddy, I'm going into the woman's. I'm going to use it, and blah blah blah." And he goes, "Yeah, that's totally cool." And he's about to head into the man's bathroom. She heads in, looks over his shoulder. Transgender person walks in. Transgender person looks like a man, just has a dress on, maybe some earrings, and longer hair and stubble, right? Goes in. The man's just like, okay. He's like a little bit concerned. Why can't he be? So he's a little bit concerned. So he's like, okay. And he comes out. Daughter comes out, she's ready, they go for their swim. He sees the transgender man coming out. Transgender person's wearing bathing suit, whatever, like woman's bathing suit, and he sees him, doesn't think anything of it really, just allows it for whatever it is. They go swimming. Then afterwards, they head back to their changing rooms. Father goes into the men's changing room. Daughter heads into the changing room. Then the transgender guy walks in afterwards. And then there's women in there taking their showers. This transgender man comes in, and he gears down, takes off his clothes or whatever, heads in with his towel, takes his towel off, and stands in the shower. The 13-year-old daughter walks in. She has a shower too, and she's standing there, and she's just kind of starting to have her shower, and she sees this man is standing next to her in the shower, and he's thinking nothing of it. He's not doing anything wrong. He's just showering. He's just kind of looking around. He's turning his body facing her, where she's just in the next stall, in the next shower head next to him. And then he's turning back, and he's not thinking really about it. You know, to his credit, he's doing nothing wrong. Girl's having a shower. She's standing there. She's kind of doing whatever. She showers. Other women leave the bathroom. Whatever they're thinking is whatever they're thinking, but they're gone. The 13-year-old girl is left there, and there's another man, and that guy is left there. And she quickly just kind of tries to wash her hair, wash out whatever soap, or depending on how comfortable she is in the situation, we don't know. Like, maybe she just stays there. Okay. She walks out, he walks out, and they get changed, whatever, leave. He goes about, the transgender man goes about his way, gets dressed, leaves, whatever. She meets the dad. Dad goes, everything okay? And she goes, yeah. And they leave. And that's it. It's never been talked about again. It's left there. Now, you are probably thinking, oh, that was harmless, right? But we don't know if it was harmless. From the sake of only the girl's point of view, was it harmless? Did it affect her? Did she want to say anything about it? Or was she going to be, or has it been so modernized by our worldview now that if she thinks about it, that then she's transphobic, and then her friends could call her out on it, and then the whole world calls her out on it because she had some kind of view of it. So what does she do? She bottles it up. She keeps it inside. And you don't know if that affects her. You don't know what happens over time. But personally, I think it does have some kind of effect, and it might subconsciously sit there with her for however long. And but the point is like that I just don't agree with it, like however you look at it, because we don't know what kind of long-term implications it has on people and how it might affect people. And it's not just worrying about like if something happens. Like, if something happens, then it's terrible, then something needs to be done about it. But even if something doesn't happen, you don't know what the effects are to this young girl. And and in my mind, I just think that we don't think about those things, and and the transgender community is so consumed by their own moral thing where they're just like, we think that they should be allowed to use it no matter what, no matter how it affects everyone else. And I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair. I think everyone deserves to have a right to speech. And even if a let's say a trans person goes into the man's bathroom, who is woman at birth, transitions into a man, whatever, the whole thing. But they go into a bathroom, and then suddenly they're and everyone's like, oh, well, men don't care. It's like, you don't know that. You don't know how a man feels. There could be a man in there where he's like, he hasn't he gets insecure about the size of his penis. Like, you don't know how that affects everyone else. Everyone is different. And the reason that these things have been put in place is so that men can feel comfortable in their environment and women can feel comfortable in their environment. If you transitioned and you got breasts and you removed your genitalia and swapped it out with a new vagina or whatever, fine, maybe I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. And maybe a lot of you are like, well, you're just contradicting yourself there. But yeah, maybe I am. But that's just how I feel. And the same goes the other way. Maybe if the female who's transitioned into a man gets genitalia, removes her breast and walks in, it might make everyone else in that room feel comfortable, because then they're like, oh, now you have to compare yourself with that other person, and not that we should compare ourselves, but you can. Anyway, my point is just it's you always want to be good with everyone, and I don't want to take anything away from the trans community either. I respect them, and if you want to be trans, great, go ahead, but don't expect us to be happy with the fact that you want to use women's bathrooms or men's bathrooms and think that we'll be okay with it, because a lot of us won't. That's just how it is. So that's my 2 cents on the matter. Anyway, see ya. Bye.